I'm sure you've heard the news by now that SB3 has been marked up severely and is going to be sent out of committee at any moment. So we are here to update you on what is happening and the latest in the Texas legislature when it comes to hemp, THC, and cannabis in Texas. And I have Rado Ivanov, one of the co-founders of TexaKana Organics, is going to give you the rundown. So let us know what's happening, and I'm going to follow along right here on my phone with you.
So basically, yesterday or the day before that, the night before that, the House committee put up this 123-page bill.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's a big bill.
That's a lot of papers.
It's a lot of pages. So
and the original SB3 was 2 pages long, 3 pages long,
something like that.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
So basically, what this is their response or their version of SB3, which they're pushing towards the House floor for voting. Right. But yes, like I said, it's 123 pages, and what we wanted to do today is to kind of summarize it. I know a lot of people have questions. What's going on? My phone was blown off yesterday. I'm sure yours as well, right? It still is. So we just wanted to give you a quick update and kind of like tell you what's going on. So basically what this bill is, their version of the bill, is a regulation of consumable hemp products. So right off the bat, that's better than a total ban.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. There's a big but, which we're about to get into right now. But it is a regulation of consumable hemp products, transfer of regulatory functions, imposing fees, creating criminal offenses, penalties, and imposing a tax. And also what the bill does, basically the big thing that we gotta look for here is that this bill is basically transferring all the regulatory to the Alcoholic Beverage Code. It basically is putting the whole hemp industry into the Alcoholic Beverage Code, which, you know me, I'm not a fan. I don't drink myself. So I'm not a fan of alcohol, and I don't think it's where the hemp industry should be.
It would be like regulating automobiles via the FDA.
Right.
It would be ridiculous.
It's just, it just doesn't sit right with me, but that's what this bill is proposing.
Sure.
And half of these pages talk about drinks, hemp beverages, as they call it. And then half of it is for consumable hemp.
Yep.
So basically, the hemp beverages, let's just start there real quick. What they're proposing is that the beverage does not contain or is not mixed with alcohol, caffeine, tobacco, nicotine, kratom, kava, psychoactive mushrooms, or derivative of any of those items. So that's one thing. It contains 10 milligrams or less of Delta-9 THC, except for the multi-serving, which we're going to talk in a little bit. But yeah, 10 milligrams. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's standard across other markets. I think that it's just one of those, they're throwing a bone. I don't have any problem with it. I mean, what I say is, God forbid I have to sell more units to high dose people that have a high tolerance. Oh no.
Right.
But I think it's not exactly fair for those who are high tolerance or need a large dose to have to bear that expense and only be limited. So, I just want freedoms, like I said, I'm not.
Right.
I'm only here for the freedoms. Don't mess with the freedoms.
So yeah, so good. So far, so good.
So good.
That's it. Also, what they're doing is they're creating a commission, and that commission is going to develop a formal process of making policy decisions.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So
bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy. A lot of bureaucracy for sure. And regulations and penalties.
They do love the criminal penalties in Texas. We got a lot of private prison, so we love criminal penalties.
Right. And what scares me here, I think, is on page 7 of this document, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, arrest without warrant.
Yes.
A peace officer may arrest without a warrant any person he observes violating any provision of this code or any rule or regulation of the commission. So basically, they're giving this commission full authority to arrest people without warrants.
Yep.
And how? Like, why?
That's a great question. Why would that be in there, Rado?
Right.
Doesn't look like anything that my representative would pass.
It's just crazy to me. I mean, how much authority and how much
I mean, they try to hide the fact that Texas is primarily owned and operated by a few select billionaires
right.
and industries, most of them being big beverage, big pharma, and private prison is like the dominatory.
This is basically who benefits from this.
Right, and that is exactly who's written into this bill. It's insanity. And it's so in your face. One thing, though, that's cool, my initial first impression, and guys, we're not attorneys, okay?
Yes.
We're not attorneys. We're not politicians. We didn't write this. We're just reading it for ourselves as two regular Joes who own a business. That's it. But, my first impression was that how do you go from a bill that was SB3 that's 3 pages or so to something that's now 123 pages, and it is genuinely crammed full of all of our testimonies.
Right.
So if you went and took a highlight reel of that testimony, a lot of the highlight reel pieces that people said are in here. So even though this bill is not something that I'm in favor of or that I really love, it does prove that when we show up and we all use our voice, it's heard. So because it's not a great bill, but it's drastically different than the flat out ban bill that was SB3 that came through the Senate. You can definitely say that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And just to get back to your previous point, yes, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer.
No.
So basically, this is not legal advice. So don't take legal advice. If you want legal advice, pay somebody, get the legal advice, and listen to them. But what we're doing today is I'm somebody that I'm invested time and money into this industry.
Yes.
So I was just spending my whole day yesterday basically going through this bill.
Absolutely.
Together with you. And we just wanted to highlight some points that we saw that make sense.
Totally. And bring it to everyone's attention.
Correct.
Because, yes, a lot of this, it's not so much that we're worried about, our business going down or our business having to pivot. We've already pivoted for 5 years. Everybody's already pivoted. We're used to it. It's really for the consumer to understand what's going on. This is about truly your freedoms, your rights, your access to things that, they want you to have the stuff that's dangerous, but they don't want you to have the stuff that could help you feel better.
Right.
So you should be aware of that. When these people come back for re-election and there's time for us to use our vote, remember this thing. Remember how they attacked your blatant freedom. Who cares about cannabinoid? That if it's not cannabinoid, it'll be something else tomorrow,
Correct. And it's about over-regulating.
Overreach.
Basically. Because we're fine with regulation. I mean, we welcome sensible regulations. But what this is over-regulation. It's 123 pages.
Totally.
Which is crazy. So let's talk a little bit about the multi-serving that I mentioned a little bit ago on the drinks. So what a multi-serving is, it applies to bottles and kegs or other containers of hemp beverages. And I'm trying to find out what page is the limitation of those. I believe is on page, I haven't written down here, let me see. Page 18 gives you the it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
So Rado has the entire bill on his lap, and he has notes to the side of where it is, like a table of contents.
Yes.
That's how big this is. Like, I have it on my phone, and it's a disaster. I mean, you would just be scrolling for the rest of your life through this bill to read it all. Via your phone.
And that's why we wanted to do this, right? Because, I mean, obviously, like, a lot of people are not going to read this.
Right. No, we don't expect you to. I mean, it's not
right.
Not everybody.
So also it talks about the fees, right? What the fees are for those licenses for the hemp beverages, and they go up from $1,800 to $5,000 to $10,000, depending on what you want to do. What part of the, like, if you want to be a store permit or mixed beverage permit or a carrier permit, brewer's license, and things like that. So it does talk a lot about the fees, that basically for the license to have a license to just to do the hemp beverages. It's a whole separate thing on the consumable hemp. So it's a separate basically you're gonna have to have 2 licenses most
Yeah,
likely
of course.
to do if you want to do beverages and consumable hemp. But yeah, it's a lot. So for the multi-serving, how they did it is you can have a multi-serving of 1 milligram per ounce up to 750 milliliters. So basically on a 750 milliliter bottle, you can put 25 ounces. So basically you can put 25 milligrams of THC, which is not much for a big
bottle. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically think about it as a normal vodka, tequila, or gin bottle, and you can put only 25 milligrams of THC in that,
which would make each shot or serving
1 milligram.
1. Yeah.
1 milligram. Exactly. So multi-serving, I just don't think makes any sense. The 10 milligrams in a normal, I get that. Like, I guess my tolerance is about that, and I'm okay with that. Just the multi-serving just does not make any sense to me, at least.
No, it doesn't. That's because these are people who don't understand cannabinoid, that trying to make laws that fit cannabinoid but appease alcohol.
Right.
Who are bleeding rapidly from cannabinoid sales, and they just don't have the same grip on society and especially the youth as what they used to. And I would be mad too. That's billions of dollars.
Right.
But the see, that's what I mean. This is where it's a problem about people's access. Is if we have a hemp industry, if you want to call it, that is recreational. So we have, instead of a bottle being 25 in the whole bottle, it's 250, right? So it's a little bit higher dose. You have access to that, but you have access to other low dose products. You have access to super high dose products, and you can do all the free market research that you can to find what product works for you or what product you want to buy from. My thing is that even if you want to say, okay, 10 milligram cap and the multi-serving deal, you're limiting people without giving them even access to like a medical program where you go get a doctor's recommendation or prescription to have, a 500 milligram gummy or something because you really need it. That doesn't exist. We have teacup and it fails people, right?
It does.
So it's so little. And so that's what they make these things, and they just don't actually know what they're talking about. And it's a disservice, not necessarily to the plant, but to Texans and to the people who are going to try to go buy these products and have already done $8 billion worth of revenue for us. So that's insane. And
I think my biggest issue with teacup is this: like, yes, it does fail. It's a very limited program, but also the people that run that program, it's a monopoly.
Oh, absolutely.
Basically, they don't let like family-owned businesses like ours thrive. They want us to shut us down, basically, and they want to be the only one that they can, have these products in the market in the whole state of Texas, which is crazy.
Good luck.
Like, that's putting, and this is the thing. I mean, they know that they don't have they cannot provide access to everybody, to the whole state of Texas. So basically they're putting profits over people because they 100%. Know some people will not be able to get access, and they still want to shut down the access that they do get now. Absolutely. So this is my biggest issue with the THCa program.
Overreach, control,
monopoly.
Regulatory capture, monopoly. That's all this is, and it's crazy. And again, I keep reminding people, because I talk to a lot of people that are not cannabis privy or friendly.
Sure.
And they're like, what's the big deal? And I'm like, because you don't understand. It goes back to like when the government just shut down the world or any of this stuff. It's like if you start giving your rights or freedoms away, you don't get it back. So if it's cannabinoid this time, it'll be something else the next time. And it really, for me, is the principle of this, of freedoms and access. It's not so much weed. I don't want legalization for Texas tomorrow. We're not ready for that. We obviously can't even get this right.
Right.
So how can we have these, programs like Rec and Medical that just are world leading? I believe we could have an agricultural program with hemp that is world leading and exports to all these
100%.
Countries around the world. But as you can see, we're still behind because people are kind of controlled behind the scenes and just want the capture and the monopoly, which is ridiculous. I money talks, I guess, but that's, to me, they're failing. So how
they're failing
much
people.
can money
they're
talk?
Failing people. They're patience. They're patience.
Yeah.
And people of Texas. That's what it is.
Well, you got 12,000 patients in a state of 30 million people. That should
Yeah.
speak loudly that nobody wants it. It's not enough
Yeah.
from what's available.
And people don't get access. So let's talk about the consumable hemp
That's
products
the
too,
highlights. That's
which
what we
is
really
the
care about.
the important part.
Mhm.
At least for us, right? So the fees are gonna be, the fees for the licenses are gonna be between $1,500 to $10,000 per year. And there's a manufacturer's license, distributor license, retail license, off-premise and on-premise, carrier license, and delivery license. So a lot of different licenses again that you gotta get.
I totally knew that was kind of coming.
Right.
That's something I've always, a lot of the like little fees and stuff that's around money, I'm always willing to concede a little bit in that area, because I did not believe that Texas, even if you said that hemp was an agriculture commodity, was going to continue to let people grow a serious cash crop for $150 a year.
Right.
Or sell these products that have an extreme margin and extreme demand for $150 a year. I knew that those days were going to be over eventually. Even like alcohol permitting for your restaurant and stuff in your bar is not $150 per year, right?
Sure.
And so that was something I thought was going to be in here no matter what. We're prepared for that. I mean, it's not, I don't like paying taxes. I don't like paying fees to the government if I don't have to, but it was just something I thought was realistic, especially for the growers, nonetheless manufacturers, so.
Right. And yes, we knew that's coming, and it's something that we can live with, but we're here to, let everybody know what's going on and kind of like where things are going to be if this bill goes through. A little bit about retail, and this is on page 91 if you want to follow here. I'm
scrolling. Give me one second.
You're trying to scroll, right? So the hemp retail may sell other products that do not contain cannabinoids, except for tobacco, nicotine products, and alcoholic beverages.
Right.
So basically, and we have a lot of friends, a lot of people, they own smoke shops and stores, they sell hemp and nicotine products. And for them, this is a killer. I mean, they have to choose between hemp or nicotine. So basically, they have to or cut their business in half or open 2 locations. I don't know. But that's a big thing for the retail, I think, space.
Yeah, but if a hemp retailer may sell other products that do not contain cannabinoid except for tobacco, nicotine, and alcohol.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can sell other products that don't contain cannabinoids except for those 3 things. And a lot of those 3 things, I mean, especially right now in the market, are kind of sold interchangeably. You have, of course, smoke shops, head shops, but also convenience store. But it's interesting because that's still contradictory to a lot of the angle of what breweries, distilleries, big alcohol wants.
Right.
They want to be able to put this in their tap room because their tap rooms.
Right. So it's
closing.
Interesting. So you can have a hemp beverage, or you can have a hemp consumable, but you cannot have nicotine, but you cannot have alcohol. So it's like you cannot mix.
But
hemp with coffee.
I do know a entity that owns their own brewery and would very happily phase out all their alcohol that's not very good in the first place to replace it with their THC beverages. So yeah, I'm sure that some people would just go ahead and jump ship. But that is interesting, and you gotta. This is why you really gotta read these things or have people go through these things for you, because again, like if you have a bar, a restaurant, and you've been selling any of these hemp THC beverages and stuff,
or coffee, there's a lot of coffee shops.
That's true.
With hemp,
that's
as
true.
Well. So
and you can make a lot of money from infusing coffee and adding like upsells and stuff to your business. Like that's huge for a small business.
Also, page 96, continue on the retail part, says the retail sale of consumable hemp products is prohibited within 1,000 feet of a school, a church, public playground, daycare center, child care center, homeless shelter, and a substance abuse treatment center. So I don't know if you what part of Texas, everybody lives, but in Houston, where I'm from, there's a church on every corner.
Yep.
There is child care on every corner. There's a school like I get the school, right? I get the school.
Totally. For that.
I get the school. Like I said, church, they're everywhere. Like I don't know what type of business. Maybe we should open a church. I don't know.
I think
but they're everywhere.
Religion's on the table. If this goes through, that's for sure.
We can be a Rastafari.
We can.
Yes.
We can do whatever we want.
There you go.
Yep.
Public playground and a daycare center, child care center. I mean, they're literally everywhere too.
So here's my thing. I agree with all of these things. I don't need to be within 1,000 feet of a school, church, playground, daycare center, or child care center. And I don't want to be. I don't want people's kids within 1,000 feet of me, or vice versa. Okay, that's cool. Especially if I'm smoking or if I'm consuming or just trying to be an adult. I don't want. That's fine. Nobody disagrees with that. This is where it gets interesting because this homeless shelter or substance abuse shelter. So first of all, everybody in those, I would hope to God, is an adult, right? Capable of making decisions. They're probably in there for other substances and abuse of substances that are legal and on every street corner, sold in many places like convenience stores and liquor stores, right? So I feel like I find that interesting, just like it's interesting that they had testimonies from people whose adult sons had problems with these products. But they want to make it about kids,
right?
Or try to make it about kids. That's a selling point, protect the kids, which the first portion of that was definitely geared towards the kids. Within the homeless shelter and the substance abuse treatment center, again, is just more useless bullshit that they put in there to make all of this harder for us to operate so that this bans us without them saying that they're banning us, is basically what this is.
Right.
So good luck getting a lease or finding a place unless you own 1,000 feet or a couple acres around you to make sure you're good. Yeah. Which is possible to do.
Right.
Still hard.
And then switching on the products, I think this is the meat and potatoes of this whole 123 pages. Totally. So starting on page 104, we're already on page 104.
That's triple digits, folks. We've hit triple digits.
We're going fast here. So and this is honestly, I think this is my favorite part of this bill. And I'm going to read it to you.
The product requirements is where we're.
The product requirements on page 104. Yes. So it says domestic sourcing, 100% behind that. Yes. All ingredients for consumable hemp products must originate from within the United States. 100% agree with that. Yes.
Love that.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Natural ingredients, also 100% behind that. All ingredients for consumable hemp products must be organic and not include genetically modified organisms, GMOs, unless approved by the commission. Discretion. And again, about this commission, which, we're going to talk about that.
The all-ruling authority of the commission, like a king. Yes, it's insane. Also, note this. They are not letting us put GMO or non-organic products in the edibles we make for you, but they will let food companies put that shit in food and sell it to you and feed it to you. So just keep in mind, again, when they talk about public safety or protecting our children, they're not really that concerned because they're making us make you a premium organic edible while you can feed your kid McDonald's on the way home in a Happy Meal and it's full of literally poison and fake food.
Which is fine. We want to be, and we are.
And we are.
We are.
TexaKana Organics specifically, actually.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
We love that. But, again, you want us to put organic, which we do, organic ingredients.
To the name.
But, to the name. But you're adding it to the Alcoholic Beverage Code.
Which is poison.
Alcohol
is a poison, whether you like it or not.
You want to sprinkle some organic on that poison.
Yes.
Basically, it's what's happening.
It. Absolutely.
And then, let's see, page where we're at, 105 already?
This one is, consumable hemp products shall not contain any converted or synthetic cannabinoids. Awesome. Yes. I am for that. Synthetic cannabinoids have been illegal since, I think, 2011 with the K2 and Spice. Which was developed by a pharmaceutical company, by the way, just so everyone knows. This converted cannabinoid I like because the alt cannabinoids are absolutely out of control right now. Correct. If you want to talk about things that definitely can get this industry in trouble and the things that the cannabis and marijuana space hates about hemp, it is all these alt cannabinoids that are absolutely out of control. They're under-researched, underdeveloped, and that's where you have this whole thing of it coming from any crack and crevice of the world, from any bullshit lab, anywhere. It's terrible. And again, I like freedom and access. So I
Right.
love if people have the use for an alt cannabinoid that it works for them and they find, use in that. That's fine. I want them to have access, but at the same time, I have the opposite side of like, some of these are just not your body and nature, and it just doesn't have these cannabinoids. So your body's not going to immediately know what to do with THCP or XYZ that's
Yes.
30 times stronger that, no human body in the last millennia has experienced. And so those are things that are all new. We just have to be realistic about that. So
Right.
I do like that they put the non-converted and non-synthetic.
Like
Non-synthetic is a waste of word. They just have been slurring synthetic for so long. They have to put that in the bill.
right.
But the converted thing is definitely something that I agree with as well.
So yes, I mean that's my favorite part of this bill. Consumable hemp products and what's allowed.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. So consumable hemp products may be in the form of oil-based tinctures. So tinctures are
Mhm.
going to be allowed.
Shock. The thing
Um,
that nobody wants anymore is the first thing they want you to
right,
have.
right. Which is fine. Tinctures is how we started actually.
Totally.
So I'm behind that. But we have a big but again.
Yes.
Tinctures may not resemble common snacks such as chips, candy, chewing gum, or other products attractive to children. Consumable hemp therapeutics other than tinctures may be in the form of gummies, pills, and mints, which is great. Okay, we can have gummies, pills, and mints, but we cannot have chips, candy, and chewing gum and other products attractive to children. So I guess my question here is, and I don't know if you can answer that question, but what about brownies or what about chocolates? Are they candy? Are they
a therapeutic? What is a therapeutic?
what is a
Rado?
therapeutic?
That's what my attorney would want to know.
What that's the
Is there a definition in
therapeutics
this bill for
are
therapeutic?
gummies, pills, and mints, obviously. So is brownie or a chocolate a therapeutic, or is it a candy that attracts kids? So that's my question, and that I don't have an answer for. But again, we'll probably have to get legal advice for that.
Always.
Consumable hemp products may not be in a form of hemp-infused oils and other packaged substances for inhaling by heating the product. So basically, vapes are out.
Right. Sure.
Vapes are out.
Vapes are out.
Total THC. This is where it also gets
Mm-hmm.
interesting because this is going to concern the THCA flower market.
Sure. Yes. Go ahead and go.
The total THC for tinctures shall be equal to, says still about the tinctures here. The total THC for tinctures should be less than 2.5 milligrams per milliliter or 75 milligrams per container, which for a tincture, I think that's okay. That's
fine.
normal. The other THC content for other consumable therapeutics should be equal to less than 10 milligrams per serving, 1 gram per container. So I think going back to therapeutics, I think this is what it's talking about here is the gummies, the pills, and the mints. So that's all good. Natural hemp flower. This is where the THCA flower is
Yes.
probably going to be. This is page 106 now. So a grower, manufacturer, distributor, hemp retailer may not add any ingredients to natural hemp flower. Great.
Amazing.
We don't want spray
We
flower.
will not do that. We don't. I do not spray flour. Just so everyone knows.
Right.
God, never
So this-
have,
this
never
is
will.
Purchase limit. This is interesting. No more than 1 ounce of natural hemp flower sold per customer per day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
Cool.
okay.
I don't know how you track that, but that's fine.
will be enough for a day. I'm
Yeah.
pretty
Good
sure.
luck tracking that, but that's okay.
Possession restrictions. How much individual can possess?
Well, look,
on
it says
them.
packaging on the hemp flower must be sealed in a child-resistant container, labeled with the retail license number, hemp lab number, QR code to a COA, date of sale, and the clarification that the total THC content is less than 0.3% by a dry weight basis. They put total THC there in that verbiage, and it is already things that most of us already do. So I didn't
Right.
want to bring that up. They're trying to make this law, but again, it's already been done, and I'm pretty sure already been required. But that's okay.
So they actually have I haven't written down here, but on page 52,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to find it here in my stack, but you might be
I can
quicker
scroll,
than
yeah,
that.
52.
Page 52, they have the the definition of total THC. And I think this is where the THCA flower.
Total THC
yes.
means the value of tetrahydrocannabinol content determined after decarboxylation, including delta 8, delta 9, delta 10, THCa, and any other chemically similar isomer.
Yeah, so basically how I understand it, again, this is the whole conversation today is how I understand things.
Of course.
But the way I understand it is like it's after decarb, post decarb.
Sure.
So basically THCA is included in the 0.3%, delta 8, delta 9, so all the THCs are included in that, which will probably eliminate most of the flower there is in the market currently. So again, no vapes, no flower, no natural. It can be a natural flower, but
well, you can, yeah. I mean, like that's the interesting thing. I mean, also after decarbox, that's been in there,
right?
So like they just had to specifically add THCA to this verbiage, but all these other things that they're saying, the labs don't skip decarboxylating my sample because I'm me and we're friends and they want to help me break the law.
Right.
That's not how it works. Like it's all going through the same standardized testing, which uses heat, which causes decarboxylation.
Right.
So they had to literally explicitly put THCA in there, the acid. But that's cool. I mean, and also they still use the old hemp definition though, which did explicitly say delta 9.
Right.
So it's very confusing. Very confusing.
It is, and I think this is my biggest problem. I think with the bill and how it's written, it's too much. It's honestly too much. And going back to, I guess, the over regulation, I think like a lot of the legal marijuana companies in the West Coast, Colorado, I think this is why it failed there, because they were quick to agree to things. Right,
yes.
Because they wanted legal weed.
Yes,
and they were quick to agree to things. And I don't think we can settle with this, because we're doing the same thing. Basically, we'll be agreeing to something that is overregulated.
Yes.
It's gonna fail businesses, I think, in the long run. And it's gonna be it's too much.
My theory is they padded it full of stuff that's contradictory and weak.
It's going to create confusion.
Made it 123 pages to create confusion and create a lot of resistance and friction to keep it moving forward. There's a lot at play in politics, and it has really nothing to do with how the individual politicians or representatives, senators feel, or even their own experience. If I present a bill that I really want to get passed and my constituents want to get passed and I'm very passionate about, my donors are very passionate about, and Rado has one, we have to figure out how to work together to make sure we both get what we want at the end of it. And so I might concede a little on mine, and I might get yours as far as I can get it, and you might get mine as far as I can get it, and we'll barter and battle back and forth. But there's a lot of political motivations, and so we see these things moving through, and a lot of people become very emotional. A lot of people become very anxious and excited to get active, and we need that, because as we've seen, record-breaking testimony and people and true Texans coming out and voicing your opinion and what you know about this plant, it definitely made it in there. We should all be proud because they listened, and we saw that in that 16-hour fight that we put up. But the thing is that I think this it has this language in it, and it has the length to let me believe that it's going to miss a few deadlines or it's going to die on the House floor. And that's not me being hopeful. That's literally just me looking at how this was always going to play through. There's a lot of big donors and big money backing this stuff. And if these politicians don't take this to the ends of the earth to try their best, quote unquote, to get it passed, these donors are going to be pissed. And if they pass something that blatantly puts their constituents out of business or hinders their ability to have free access to a legal product, federally legal product, that's going to have repercussions as well. So everybody has to be careful, if you're in politics or in the government, how you go about doing things like this. So we all need to just continue doing what we're doing. They can't ignore record-breaking numbers of testimony on a bill. They can't ignore record-breaking number of people telling their story on record in the Capitol about how these products or cannabinoids or people or brands affect their life. They can't ignore that. And that's what we've seen here. And so when this goes to the next stage, if we show up to testify again and you sacrifice that one day, those 16 hours, whatever, it's going to make a difference, as much difference as we possibly can. And that's what all of this is about. And that's my true belief on where this will go. I believe they stacked this on purpose at kind of a deadline. We're under 30 days. We're riding under 30 days now.
And also, if this passes the House, it's still got to go back to the Senate.
Absolutely. There's conference committee where both sides will work on stuff. And again, like the governor has to sign it, you know. I mean, there's just so many things still that, guys, this is not official. Don't. Yes. I remember when the DSHS literally broke the law and tried to make people believe that Delta 8 was banned, and people were flushing shit in the toilet and like throwing things away and lighting them on fire. And then 48 hours later, I think it was like, oh, that's not real yet, and people were out thousands of dollars. Relax. The fight is still on. I wouldn't say that this is a detrimental blow. We are still fighting and making history here, and I think this is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
but it's not good.
It's not good.
I don't like this bill.
There is good parts.
There's good parts.
We haven't mentioned, but there's a lot on labeling, selling to minors, and things that we always wanted. So there is good parts of it.
But it's still a ban.
But
there's so many things in there that make it very difficult to operate, very difficult to make a product.
Correct.
It would make the demand for the product that exists now would not be there for the products that we would be able to create under this. Like the demand and the education level of consumers has outpaced what these products. This is 5 years ago products. Tinctures on the shelf, low dose gummies, virtually no THC. Like this is like just a walk backwards to the times that we worked hard to get out of, you know what I mean? And so this is it's a silent killer, you know. It's not anything I'm a fan of other than the few positives, some of which already exist. They already exist. This is not news, you know.
Yes.
That's the reason they can come up with 123 pages in a short couple weeks, because a lot of this existed. They just had to go find it and put it in there.
Right. And again, there's good parts of it, but at the end of the day, I think it's just a lot that we cannot settle with. And if we do, like you said, if we do settle with something like that, that's it. I mean, that's the end of a lot of family businesses. That's a lot of people losing their job.
And we've had this last time. We have people in this industry that will try to sell out or carve out or concede and just give them Delta 8, let them ban this, let them ban that. And in the words of Cynthia Cabrera, you cannot give away any little piece. We cannot be okay with that, because again, it goes back to the freedoms. It's once we start giving it away, it takes all the legitimacy that we've been building up right out. And once you give away a little piece, that's just not how this works. You know, we shouldn't be okay just getting a little piece of the crumb. We want all of it. We've been the ones working hard here. We've been the ones putting time, money, sacrificing, driving to Austin to film videos and get the word out. You know, we do the things that we need to do, and they're not just going to take it from us by squeezing. You know, we're tougher than that, and we're smarter than that. So get active, everyone.
So if this passes through, basically it's going to take effect, most of it on September 1st of this year. But tell us how we can get involved.
Totally. Yeah. So the best thing to do, you can literally go on whorepresentsme.com or just Google Who Represents Me and put in the state and your district information or your address. There's 1,000,001 ways to find out who in Texas represents you. So again, don't talk to your federal people like your congressman and senator for the country. That's not what this is. Your state representatives for the House and the Senate. Find your Senate district, find your congressional district. You can put in your address on a platform just like Who Represents Me, and they will give you all the contact information. There are people on these committees specifically. Now it doesn't matter as much, but you can contact them. But the main thing when we're moving this out to the House floor, you want to contact your representative and tell your story to their office or to them directly on how this affects you, whether you're a business owner, you're a consumer, veteran, retiree, whatever your story is. You need to reach out to your representative. All you have to do is call And if you'd like other resources, please send us a DM or comment your questions so we can get you to the right direction. There are also entities out there like the Texas Hemp Business Council that can literally help you, even give you a script on exactly what to say or what to email your representatives to let them know that you do not approve of SB3 or the committee substitute, and you don't want them to vote this through.
Whatever that is called.
Yeah, that's definitely the one thing that you can do. Another thing I think we should talk about is realize if you're a wholesale person, or sorry, if you're a retailer out there and you have a storefront, right, and you depend on products like TexaKana Organics and others out there, take a look at who is being active in times like this. There are people who are large 50-state, nationwide, worldwide companies out there. They're not fighting for what's going on in Texas. These small local businesses are fighting. They're giving up their money, some of them that they don't even have, time and money that they don't even have, to fight for your access and your success in this industry as well. So when it comes down to making a purchase and buying products and doing business with certain brands, it's maybe not all about price. It's maybe about the relationship and what these people are willing to do for you and your business, and how we can all do business together as Texans. Correct. So look out for that, because lately I think it's been very clear who is truly here for the industry for the long haul and who is quick to undercut people, turn their backs, or just sit and wait around for the government to decide what we're allowed. Everyone needs to remember that, but everyone does need to stay connected, stay involved. Please contact your representatives. Please reach out to us, and if you need a resource, we are here to provide direction for you. But this is not a joke. I mean, these are things that are happening, and if we sit back and let them happen, who knows?
This is not a joke.
This is 123 pages is not a joke, everybody. So definitely stay involved, and again, prioritize small Texas local businesses that care. We already take all these precautions to protect you, and we're going to continue to do that, and we're going to roll with whatever legal obstacles and jiu-jitsu we have to keep providing you with premium hemp and cannabis and cannabinoid products, because that's what we're here to do, and we believe that we're here to do this forever. So
you're definitely right. And also, when that hearing, because it's going to be a Senate hearing, correct?
Oh yeah, it's going to be fast. I mean, it's going to be within the next couple weeks.
We need to all be there.
Yes,
and yes, remember who is there with you. Yes. I know there's a lot of companies coming to Texas from different states, but the companies that are here in Texas, they are fighting alongside you is the ones that I would create relationships with.
Absolutely.
Those are the companies that we want to work with, and we want to hear from you as well. So let us know what we're missing. What if you don't agree with something we said? I mean, I'll be the first one to say, I just, the way I understand it, it's not something that I'm 100% sure, but that's how it's written. This is how I understand it myself, and I wanna tell everybody what my 2 cents are. When the hearing happens in the House floor, be there. Yes. Talk to each other, talk to the people there with you there. And that's how we can all help each other. We're doing this not just for us, but we're doing this for retailers, for wholesalers, distributors, anybody that's in the industry. We just want to get information out there. I know education is the missing part of this industry. I've been saying this for I don't know how long. You've known me for
long enough.
Years.
Long enough.
So I know with education and with the right people next to you, we can fight this. Yeah. We can make this industry in this state something that other states can simulate. Absolutely. And have it as a goal.
Absolutely.
So
check out TexaKana Organics at TexaKanaOrganics.com. While we're still there operating with high-dose products. Check out TexaKanaOrganics.com. Seriously, you guys, the things that we put out are the best of the best. They have the best ingredients, the best effects. Truly a great example of what Texas local businesses are capable of. And also subscribe to TexaKana Organics on YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. And then make sure you mosey on over to the Texas Growers podcast. There's a really cool dude over there who has a great show out of a great studio like this one here at Soundshed Studios. And yeah, just check us out, guys. Let us know if you have any questions.
Yes.
And we will see you on the next one.